Zero tolerance for terror activities and Pakistan proxies, and in such a situation the central government has ensured a crackdown on terrorists and their properties which are being razed and demolished. Now, rattled by the centre's action, Pak-backed terrorists have issued threats to target government officials and their families if the centre continues to demolish properties of terrorists. Now, the government is responding by reviving village defence committees that are meant to provide another layer of cover to ordinary residents, especially Hindus. Retired servicemen and locals are being appointed to village defence committees. Weapons will be given to them to stave off terrorists until the army arrives. This life-saving last resort has not gone on well, with Jammu and Kashmir parties accused of pushing Pakistan's agenda in Jammu and Kashmir. PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti has called for a revamp of VDC's political agenda of BJP and has also said that this is a bid to spread hatred between communities.
मेरा ये कहने का मकसद है कि ये जो ये सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस सीआरपीएफ बटालियंस और लाने की बात कर रहे हैं, लोगों को एसएलआर देने की बात कर रहे हैं, दूसरे हथियार देने की बात कर रहे हैं, इससे मसला तो हल नहीं होगा, बल्कि जो बीजेपी का जो उनका अपना मकसद है, जो उनका अपना एजेंडा है, दो फिरकों में नफरत फैलाने का, एक जंगी माहौल तैयार करना, यहाँ बाई को बाई के साथ लड़ाना, उससे वही जो है वही सिचुएशन यहाँ बन जाएगी.
The shocker from Mehbooba Mufti comes just days after terrorists unleashed mayhem in Rajouri's Dangri village and killed over 7 innocents, including children and women. Had a local volunteer not had a gun and fired upon the terrorists, the casualties amongst Hindus would have been much higher. Naturally, the BJP has criticized Mehbooba over her remark and alleged that while she defends the right of the so-called alienated youth like Burhan wanting to pick up the gun, she wants to deprive Hindus the right to defend themselves and secure their lives.
सब सरकार में रहे थे तो हिंदुओं की जब हत्या हुई है तो तब आप नहीं रोक पाए ना. रोकने का संकल्प लेकर आए हैं कि कश्मीर में बाहर की आतंकवादी गतिविधियों पर लगाम लगाने के लिए अगर ऐसे गलत कामों को रोकने के लिए फोर्स एक्स्ट्रा लगाई जाएगा तो क्या बुराई होगी. वो यही चाहती है कि हिंदुओं की हत्या होती रहे. महबूबा ये चाहती है, इसलिए वो फोर्स लगाई.
Mehbooba Mufti should stop giving obnoxious, rather bizarre statements on VDCs. And if she has to do anything, why don't she come out with a statement against Pakistan? Why she's having soft corner for that Napak country, for that terrorist sponsoring country? Why she and Umar Abdullah didn't have a courtesy to give a single statement against the terrorist sponsoring country, and that is Pakistan? Now she's trying to play the communal card. You should abstain from doing such a thing, because against the terrorists, we should all stand together. I'm still waiting for a statement either from you or from Omar Saab against this Pakistan. Otherwise, we will think that you have a soft corner for those who killed the innocents in Rajouri.
All right, we have Pradeep Datta joining us live. We also have with us our guests, in fact, who are with us. Lalit Ambardar, activist, is with us. Ahmed Ayaz is a lawyer who's also with us. But I'm going to go first to Pradeep. Pradeep, now this is a shocker of a reaction coming in, because end of the day, all that is being proposed is self-defense mechanism, which could very well save the lives of these villagers in the event of a terrorist attack. And it's something that they have been facing for about 3 decades now. If the government does want to arm the citizens in merely an attempt at defending themselves, why should that get this kind of a riled-up reaction from politicians in the valley is a question that the BJP is asking. Pradeep.
Madhav, you're absolutely right. In fact, Mehbooba Mufti is deliberately trying to look at the things with the communal glasses because she's playing a dirty politics over the issue. I think she has forgotten that in 90s also, when the communal massacre took place, village defense committee people were the one who did a commendable job, and they not only fought for their neighbors, but they also tried to ensure safety and security of each and every hamlet in that Kishtwar, Bhadrama and Doda region. And today also we need to appreciate their great determination that they are not going to flee from that area, but they are ready to give a befitting response to all those terrorists. Instead of coming out and hating out against Pakistan, she is not uttering a word against them. She's trying to give them clean chit and trying to see all wrong things things about the steps being initiated by the government. See what really had happened, because I had been covering this Dangri incident. Terrorists came, they asked for Aadhaar card. Once they ascertained their religious identity, they came to know that they are Hindus. They opened fire, killing them on the spot. Mehbooba Mufti should have spoken about all these things, how there are Pak-sponsored terrorists who are trying to widen communal fault lines between Hindus and Muslims. They want to, in fact, to tear apart that composite culture that is existing in this twin border district of Poonch and Rajouri. And she should be appreciative of the role being played by the people of that region, because I had been interacting with them and they said no bullet is going to tear apart that fabric that is existing here. So we are going to fight against terrorism together. And she had forgotten that Operation Sarfanash that was conducted in Hill Kaka Height, that was the time when Muslims took up the guns against those terrorists, and they were able to flush them out, and they were able to bust many of the bunkers that they had constructed there, that time the Pakistani terrorists. But deliberately she's trying to politicize the situation, look at with the communal glasses, and trying to portray government in a bad light, and saying that government is trying to go for the communal hatred. It is not like that. It's basically Pakistan's game plan.
We'll have to leave it there for the moment, Pradeep. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Let's quickly take this across to our guest. Ahmed Ayaz is with us. Ahmed Ayaz, why is it that Mehbooba Mufti has one set of standards for people such as Burhan Wani and others, and a different set of people who are just sitting ducks as villagers? All they're asking is for weapons to be able to be present so that they can defend themselves.
Well, Madhav, see, any politician will try to, get political advantage out of any situation. And if Mehbooba Mufti also is doing the same, I don't think there is much to be worried about it. But the fact is that, well, we have been claiming, you see, we have done many things to see that the normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir is restored. And in the process, we have removed even Article 370 also. We have done major operations like Operation All Out and Operation, Catch and Kill. I mean, there is nothing left out. We, via the army or the security force, must have given, any relaxation, or they must have, not come back well. But the point is, with all these things are not still come to a normal level. And now we are trying to revive again the, this VDCs, which we are abandoned just because of situation has slightly improved somewhere before 2014. And now, when again you are reviving the VDCs, giving them again the guns to fight back. The point is, then where is the question of normalcy? Then where is the question of saying that everything is normal in Kashmir? In the process, the Kashmiri Pandits are being targeted, or the non-Muslims are being targeted. In the process, even Muslims also are getting killed. And the Kashmiri Pandits who were...
the point is, that's the very same Pandits you're talking about, and others will have weapons to defend themselves now. So that is what the government is saying, that these people can now defend themselves and not just be sitting ducks.
That's what I say. Does that mean that the government has failed to combat the militancy? Then they are asking people to, they're giving them the guns and stand off their own against the militancy. Is that a fact now? After 32 years, we are going back.
Lalit Ambardar, the government has failed to control militancy, and that is why it is resorting to this measure. That is what this shows for Ahmed Ayaz. That's what this move shows. Your response to him? Lalit Ambardar, can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a problem with the audio, but I think I guess what you want to ask me. Listen, Madhav, it's a universal fact. When you want to fight insurgency, then the local resistance is more effective wherever in the world you fight insurgency. And in case of Kashmir, it is even worse. The insurgency is inspired by pan-Islamism fervor, and it is because of their extraterritorial loyalties towards a foreign country, because let's say Pakistan remains the epicenter of India's specific Kashmir jihad. So it's always better to arm the local people and contribute to the fight, contribute to the resistance against the jihadists. It happened in Pradeep has rightly pointed out, Kishtwar and Bhadrawa. Let me remind, there was exodus of Hindus from upper reaches of Kishtwar hills. That was prevented only when the local people were given arms, VDCs, village defense committees. And that time also, these so-called mainstream Islamists, as well as the Hurriyat, were all against those VDCs that time. In fact, they were abolished later on. But also again, Ikhwanul Muslimin. That was the biggest ever local resistance against the Pakistan-sponsored jihadis in Kashmir. And can you imagine? All these people ganged up against Ikhwanul Muslimin because the Kukapare, the head of the Ikhwanul Muslimin, he turned out to be a staunch Indian. He turned around and became a staunch Indian. He used to sing paeans in the name of State Kashmir from Delhi. And these people, instead of shouting slogans against Pakistan, sends the target. Instead of raising slogans against the jihadis and Islamists who are killing in the name of Islam, who are killing Hindus in the name of being Hindus.
Ahmed Ayaz, why is there this fear? Why is there this fear to call out Pakistan, to call out the jihadis, to call out those who have picked up the gun?
Out of the Srinagar city, before that, see, it gives us a sense, that still the ground situation has not been well understood. It's the 32nd year of the abnormal situation.
What has not been understood, sir? Are these people not targets in your view? Are they not targets?
Let me complete. My point is that we are still going for experiments. You see, it is not a laboratory that you need to make experience of a human.
Sir, if a person will lose his life, and if he has to have a weapon to defend himself, I mean, where is the wrong thing in that? I mean, is this something that one really should? Is that something that is very difficult to accept?
Madhav, this is already experienced, and you see, if that looks to be the option, then what we have been doing for the last 32 years. And if this was the option, then why was this finding?
Exactly. So what have Farooq Abdullah been doing? What have Mehbooba Mufti been doing? Those who are in power in the state, rather than towing a pro-Pakistan line or a soft separatist line, if they had actually genuinely worked to resolve things on ground, perhaps we would not have this situation.
Madhav, they are on the opposition, they are in the opposition, they are supposed to raise issues and criticize the government.
No doubt, they can.
Ultimately, the government.
They are speaking on behalf of Pakistan. They are speaking on because of Pakistan, because Pakistan se rishta kya? La ilaha illallah. Have you ever heard them raise a voice against Pakistan?
No.
Have you ever heard them raise a voice against Hurriyat? Have you ever heard them raise a voice against jihadis who are all in the killing spree in Kashmir? Not once. They want to secularize the killing of Hindus. That is their target. Hindus and Sikhs as well. That's their target.
It is not there now that we can't expect Mehbooba Mufti or the Farooq Abdullah or anybody of that stature to say that Pakistan ke saath rishta kya. I don't think that is it is just
why?
Just
Akbar Lone is the member parliament, a sitting member parliament of National Conference in today's Lok Sabha. He raised Pakistan Zindabad in the J&K Legislature Assembly. And when the reporters asked him outside, why did you do it? He said, "Main Musliman hu, babuk ho gaya. I'm a Muslim. I became emotional and sentimental." That is their allegiance towards Pakistan. And what Farooq Abdullah does, instead of reprimanding him, he elevated him to Lok Sabha. And I will not be surprised nor shocked if the same Akbar Lone raises Pakistan Zindabad in the Lok Sabha of Indian Parliament. Because their affiliation to Pakistanis is Pakistan se rishta kya la ilaha illallah. You better understand it now.
It may be an emotional reaction. It may be an emotional reaction in the assembly to what.
What emotional? Are you wedded to Pakistan because of Islam?
But I'm sure that he was
why I call you traitors? There are extraterritorial loyalties, affiliations to Pakistan. They're spokesperson of Islamabad in Kashmir, like Hurriyat was. You need to understand that. And don't, Hindu lives matter, please. Hindu lives matter. Let Hindus fight for themselves. I wish Indian state, Mufti Muhammad Sayyid, the then Home Minister, who exchanged dreaded terrorists in release for his daughter's release. If only he had armed Kashmiri Hindus, I think we would have given a better resistance to the jihadists that time in 1990.
All right.
And we would have probably survived Exodus.
All right, let me just come in now.
And he went parallel to the security of Hindus in Kashmir.
Okay, let me come in now.
कश्मीर में इस्लाम लाना है.
Mr. Ahmed Ayaz and Lalit Ambardar, let me just come in. I want to quickly bring in Pradeep before we end this debate. Pradeep, the larger question is this. The larger question is that, you will have Mr. Ahmed Ayaz say what happened for 30 years. Have we failed? Has the government's, policy to tackle terror failed? All these may be questions. They may be relevant as well at some level. But at the end of the day, if this is a move that can even save one life by arming these individuals, isn't it something that, has to very seriously be considered, given that you are seeing a situation where terrorists are targeting innocent, unarmed individuals?
See, when Kashmiri Pandits were left their home, they said they were cowards, because they were not provided guns. And now here are people, they want to defend themselves, they want to snatch that right to defend themselves also. And the second thing is, if Ahmed Ayaz is asking about where is the normalcy, see, the stone pelting has stopped. We don't see nowadays those encounters taking place, because reason is that these terrorists know that they can't directly confront our security forces because they can't match their might. What they are doing is they are always looking for the softer target, because when we have got a neighbor like Pakistan, this is going to happen. But what is worse is that even today, the civil society in Kashmir is completely silent, and the resistance of the civil society is really very important, because this criminal silence is more dangerous than gun violence. Ayaz Saab, today they are coming for them, tomorrow they can come for you and me too. It's the time to speak out against Pakistan and Pak proxies, because if you keep on shielding them, you will only be feeding their Frankenstein monster, and Frankenstein monster is one day going to swallow you too.
All right, Pradeep Datta, we'll have to leave it there. I'd like to thank you for breaking this exclusive story, as well as Lalit Ambardar and Ahmed Ayaz for joining us with your views on this particular story. Moving on to another top focus. Now, this is ahead of the